football so far. Darnold running for his life. Javon Hargrave and others are applying some pressure. He throws it out of bounds, and Minnesota's defense will force another Seahawks punt. Pressure came immediately up the middle on the blitz, and then finishing it off was a big defensive lineman outside.
Up and down the line of scrimmage to find the right spot.
Crosby's coming. Here comes the flag. This one's blown dead. Crosby
Oh,
was in
shit.
the backfield as Herbert was hitting the football.
They're just on the flagsheet.
It is on Crosby.
You'll see him right there at the bottom of your screen. Just gets an early jump, and he was arguing with the official. I think he was trying to say that they did something with the ball or somebody had a movement.
All right.
But from where we're standing, that was obviously off Max Lofton. That's Pat Graham, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. A holdover from his previous regime. He's still working on that blend in the detail with this defense.
Second down and 2. It's Vidal up the middle, and he picks up the first down. Salyer starting at left tackle today. The fourth different Charger to start at left tackle. Great Hendricks, the other tackle position for Los Angeles, looking for some stability and protection for Herbert.
And they've tried numerous leagues going with different guys, trading for Trevor Penny, coming over from the Saints, stuck him in there in the left tackle position. That didn't work. So now Salyer is healthy, and they believe when he is healthy, he's the guy that gives them the best chance to play.
Jared Patterson was decided about for yesterday on the practice squad. He crossed into 40 and gets down to 39. In between plays, flashback to the South Florida matchup, Dolphins Saints. Devon Achane got your fantasy day started right. It started him today. Achane, special season, he put together another touchdown for him. He had 134 rushing yards and a touchdown. And the record drops to 2-9. So obviously the magic number we're looking for is 25 today by the Chargers. Already 5. This is their 6th We got an extra lineman in on this first half. Warren is running back. Spinning around and back.
Guys and anybody with experience got from first-year pros all the way to 10th-year pros that are on that practice squad. Vidal on 3rd and 1, and he picks up the first down.
Chargers were hoping that Omari and Hampton would get back on the field. He was see him a ton today. They're going to try and impose their side to the He's trying to win against the run. And you see that he's in the pistol. Not in the shotgun. Hands it off. Warren on second and 2. Right at the marker. And the marker, I think the Chargers did a nice job of gearing up the side of extra time. Let's make sure he truly is right before we bring him back. 7 of the 8 plays on this drive have been on the ground. First and 10, now Herbert to the air.
Bullshit.
Yellow takes Vidal across the court. Devin White on his the Steelers have lost 4 of the last 6. Back to the pistol as we expect to see a full ball back. And Warren has the first down. The pile is going to the Bills, it has been,
when you watch their game, the blend of him and Pete Carroll, you see it, they're a little bit of a softer defense this year, trying to keep the ball in front of them, and not really getting the question of different things they've done in the past.
back on the ground, trying to get always stood up that thing. Think what you're saying is philosophy and approach, right? Pete Carroll has been winning a lot lately. Gotta show that up. Let's do it again. See this all day. So, here's a little toss. Warren, again, the backfield to make the play quickly. With 0, they're bringing the house. get after them. So they're trying to make sure that they work together on that, smash together their philosophies to come up with something that's coherent. Empty backfield for Herbert on second down. Crosby coming off the edge. The pass is caught by Cooper Johnston, who's taken down by Denver.
12 it is, with 3 tight ends on the field. To set up a screen with Warren, who can break tackles. Not going to get away from Milano this time. He's a hard runner. David Warren.
This drive approaching 7 minutes in length. They're down at 5.
Beginning that touchdown we just talked about with that win.
Herbert fires and it's gone. Another first down. And another Keenan receiver.
On a 3rd and 10. Austin moves to the right side. It looks like they're going to shift Joey Bosa at the top right here. Here's Rodgers. Throwing it down the field and incomplete. We're looking for Austin and looking for a flag. Buffalo defense able to make the play. That was
Is able to pick up the first down. That's the trust between the quarterback and the wide receiver of seeing the same thing.
Play action. Herbert hanging in there. Here comes the pressure. He's out of the pocket. Herbert trying to cut back at the 10. Hit hard by Jeremy Chin.
Steelers are punting. Let's give you an update on what's been a defensive struggle in the first quarter. Vikings and Seahawks. Rosler looking for Addison. That goes incomplete. There have been 5 punts in the first quarter. No points. Only 48 total yards combined between Seattle and Minnesota. 48 total yards coming up on the end of the first quarter.
But he didn't end up overrunning it. He kept the right angle, put him on the deck. Chargers can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Herbert standing in there again, now throws, it's complete. Johnston pinballs in, touchdown. Quentin Johnston with his 7th touchdown of the year. And a drive that took up nearly 9 minutes culminates in the Chargers' 5th opening drive touchdown of the year.
Chargers go to empty center. See Johnson coming across the field. Ends up matched up with a linebacker and Devin White. And that's an advantage for the Chargers. Justin Herbert sees it, stays alive, steps up into the pocket, delivers the throw. There's an excellent execution by him down in the red zone where they have struggled this season.
14 plays, 74 yards, and the extra point by Cameron Dicker is good. Just what Greg Roman and the Chargers were looking for, up 7 companies.
The NFL has starting games this year.
What did you say?
All right, end of the first quarter in Seattle. We've got the touchdown on the board for the Chargers after their 8-minute and 50-second run as a Jim Harbaugh drive, if we've ever seen one, take the lead. Pittsburgh and Buffalo coming out of commercial break in about 30 seconds from now. That Seattle-Minnesota game, 15 minutes have been played. There have been 63 total yards between the two teams, 5 total punts. But showing you the plays that you feel that we might want to see in that game so far. Let's flash back to the early window when all 3 games were in a commercial break like this. Niners at Cleveland. It was 1984. The last time San Francisco won in Cleveland. Granted, 2 different conferences. You don't often see each other, not often in Cleveland, but Christian McCaffrey and company got the job done. He plows in for a short touchdown in that one. Niners improved to 9-4. The Browns dropped to 3-9, 26-8. The final score from Ohio this afternoon. Shedeur Sanders not able to get his first home victory. He is 1-1 as a starter. Got past the defensive line, able to open up the drive with a good starter. 8 or 9.
Oh, they've been on the run under pressure. As I said, most of his career last week with 8 sacks. You know, last year only 8 giveaways and 14 sacks. That total was double now on the sack side. Wow. And now they're up to 12 giveaways on the season with the interception. They're coming after him. And they get patchwork offensive line today. That will be the key, right? Can they handle it? You got to get somebody over here. There you go. They're going to get hands-on block with passing. If they're running it, you don't have to. Second and 2, and Cook able to make quick assessment. He surveyed, looked left and right. Took the left side, got 5 in a burst. He's so good. I mean, I'm impressed every time I watch James Cook. Just his ability to be patient in the hole, hit it, and then just recognize where the opening actually is. And they're going to have to wear him out. It's why they have a chance. Because they have one side of the ball, one thing they can rely on, no matter who they go against, is the run game. And they get an adjustment with his helmet. Davis comes in for him in the backfield. Well, first down at the 31. As Davis puts a good run. Leads the first quarter. Constantly under pressure. Over the middle he goes. Cooper Kupp with his second catch. Step of the 14-year veteran Harrison Smith and again themselves. Now I want to go back to something we talked about in the first quarter, Joe. Talk about how Sam Darnold, he's so good pushing the ball. But sitting on the offensive line, there's still big people just running the football. And Davis got off to the end zone last week, got a feel for it, was going for it again. And here he is with another good run. Back-to-back big rushes. One for 15. This one for 12. Right? A lot of them believes in essence in turning the ball over. I just think it speaks to their margins for error. When he was turnover, it just ends the game. Not necessarily the case always with Seattle. Darnold on second down. Sacks from behind by Dallas Taylor. The ball is out. A scramble for it, and then once again the catch there. And then ball away from the right wing from the yards last week, so that gave up a boost of confidence. He gets a third straight carry. Perfect. You know, Las Vegas fired their offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, a week ago tonight. Pete Carroll installed Greg Olson, the quarterback coach, as the OC. Olson dials up a winner there. Brock Bowers, usually a good option. Second-year tight end goes 27 yards on the pass from Geno Smith. First down.
What are you doing down here?
Drive. This will be the 6th play coming up. They've run it every time so far on this drive. Ty Johnson in. Again for the second time. Eric Anderson moves early. All-star offense number 7. 5-yard penalty. Second down. Here they come again. Darnold gets rid of it quickly. It's the second catch of the year. He was 2-yard touchdown against James David Jack Sawyer. 17. Set up. Johnson. Hayward, one of those along with Queen to bring it down at about the 43-yard line. Talked about early in this game. How many shots downfield have they thrown? None. All it's been is run the ball, quick passes, screens. They intercepted the slant, another quick pass. Just trying to protect, make sure Josh Allen after 8 sacks last week doesn't have anything. Defense number 29. Big man. Number 29. That's a big call. Correction, there is no foul to face mask. Third down. Wow, okay. Right mid-ball, they have it on Duggar. And it's rightfully taken away. He got just on top of the football. Edwards caught his face mask. His teammate will touch it right here. See, hey, now go this way. Great job, though. You can tell the Eagles was talking to him. And it's a 3rd and 10 as Watt is back to the field.
with Lawrence's right guard. From the pocket in trouble. The big time trouble. They're trying to get him out of the for the incompletion of the direction of Johnson. Oh, yeah, it's Herbig. Wreaking havoc in the backfield. You're right about Herbig. But watch TJ Watt. They don't get four hands on him. Just one guy. The guard tries to come over, but because of that pressure, Herbig gets to break the distance at the end. And Josh Allen feels that. Herbig does a great job against the running back. Herbig's going to come well. Offense still on the field as the Pittsburgh will call a 42-yard line and a 4th and 10. Going to try and drive off some 85 yards to a field goal.
Oh my God.
Number 5, which will be inconsequential. Everyone knows that on 4th and 4, right? 4th and 10, that was a good try. Layup game on that. 5-yard penalty. Even if you didn't try to field goal, you might have tried to go for it on 4th and 5. But the 3 from motion through Raiders game. It's a 3rd and 9. And it's an obvious passing down. 2 Chargers will bring a little extra heat. Derwin James gets home on the safety blitz. Sacking Geno Smith. Geno Smith sacked 41 times coming into this week on the season. That's one of the leaders in that unfortunate category. And Chargers have gotten the 2 quarterback sacks here in the first quarter. More direction. Is finally healthy. That's the big part of this offensive line being so much better. Just 13 games for the previous 2 years because of the it's the big concept extension at the start of the season. Extra special for a kid who grew up in Everett, Washington, going to games, watching games with his dad. He's a big Seahawks fan. I'm going to be a staple of this franchise. Washington contract. Second and goal from the 80. It's a chip promotions. Try Charbonnet again, and he was mad at the field. It's Eric Wilson with a great tackle for loss. The 4th already for Minnesota. Because if you walk the table 10 times, you'll see Wilson hit the little counter on the backside runner into Bradford. It's a really bad job finding Wilson. There's just no reason to stop his feet.
Well, Dak can't get
inside shoulder, and Charbonnet is going to take it up inside for a good game. Just Wilson, man, this is a backup. You can't get hard. Darnold, give it time. This defense is suffocating for the Vikings in the first half. They're all like years field goal, flashback to the Panthers-Rams game. Caused a lot of shockwaves in the early window. The Panthers were a viable team this year, but people had the Rams as one of, if not the best teams in the NFL. But Tenero, McMillan, and Bryce Young serving up game winners like this. That was the go-ahead score for 43 yards. Had 5 different lead changes in this game. Panthers pull it off.
Oh, jeez.
And we got a score on the board finally there in Seattle. The home team takes a 3-0 lead. Seattle started the day in wild card position. The Seahawks have won 5 of 6. Seahawks undoubtedly excited about that Rams final score. Minnesota is trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. We got Trey Lance in the game. Investigate this.
They're really going to get tested here. Still beating on the play. Now this was the hit. Then Herbert threw a Where did she get Jerry?
Cardinals. Back in the early season, here's Gainwell Lewis. First carry for Chiefs.
Let's go, Hunter.
Some of you have this streak that you hear about all the time. It's worth repeating. The fact they go through every season without a losing record and predated Mike by a couple of years. They're at 21. They're going to go down.
And Johnny Chin comes up, makes a technical tackle. Look at the placement of his helmet in that left hand, goes back down. Hard to see exactly where he might have gotten hit, but it looks like he's holding that hand as he's running into the locker room. And we're still waiting to hear exactly what Justin Herbert has to offer. Right now, it's an answer shot.
Right there, quarterback. Pretty good. There's one on the carry. About 4 yards short of the first. But they went down on
Now watch the handoffs. You're going to see with the wrist injury and the cast, it's fine to hand the ball off when it's in his right hand. You've already seen he's got to go the other direction. He's flipping the ball with his right hand from pistol. It's why he's not on this side. It's why you're not going to see a ton of shotgun plays for you. There's 10 max in this game because you can't hand the ball off to his left.
empty backfield on 3rd and 4. Rodgers down the field, but it's over the head of Williams. Last step on the defender. 79, the right tackle, Pickens. And all the havoc started to happen inside. This is 50. Oh, that's getting something connected.
AJ, what's the latest?
Jesus Christ.
As you've been mentioning, is that paying attention to his left hand, not his right hand. He gets to his back to the locker room at this moment, and he plays his flexible to return his defense.
Okay, AJ, thank you for getting me 6. This is what is about down.
Big play to close out the first quarter here at SoFi. An 8-yard run on 3rd down.
McCarthy with great streets on as well.
And it's not as like he's going to sit there and not wonder what if, because this is still a good Vikings team that he just had a massive drop off the quarterback. And then they lost Sam Darnold, who he's done here in Seattle. What if he's still in Minnesota? What if he's still in Minnesota? Target Justin Jefferson. He's pressure. Gives CJ Hawkinson. Tight end. They love to get the tackle target. That's 12 for Hawkinson, who has had by far the quietest year of his career, but a nice option for Rosemer to have.
Well, we got to go rewind here because Sam Darnold has gone into the blue medical tent for the Seattle Seahawks. So you've got the Chargers franchise quarterback, Justin Herbert, into the locker room in the Chargers-Raiders game. Sam Darnold getting looked at for some type of situation. Drew Lock is the backup quarterback for Seattle in these situations.
Back to the fence. This is back to front. Roseman steps up. Gets Chase. Lets it go. Behind that's another chance for these players to do a job up to the quarterback. Jefferson on his first target of the game. Just the ball that we're used to seeing Justin Jefferson catch. Working to his left, it's thrown behind him. As we've said now a few times, there's going to be plays that the all-pros and the veterans around him are just going to have to
A little bit of good news here. This was the video we saw just about a minute or two ago. Darnold out of the blue medical tent and going back to the sideline where he would be while his defense is on the field in any other circumstance. No word yet on Darnold. We'll pass along as we find out anything. Rosemer back to throw. Rosemer throws on the run for Jefferson, who had to turn into a DB, and that's came and caught the deflection. The Jefferson played corner there on Nick Emmanwori, who had a chance at a pick. And it's 4th and 5. The Buffalo comes out. Cook. He got the equipment figured out. The number was an issue there. So he set out the last 4 plays of the last series. Ty Johnson's in there too. Now he comes back to the swing over the Johnson for the block. And it's a short game for the Bills. They're talking about how Powell could move it to 10. But Dan Reeves will win all time regular season. This is Sean McDermott getting into it after this play. We expected from him. As Herbert reappears on the sideline with a big glove on his left hand, but not coming out on the field just yet. As Lance, out of the pocket, has some room to run. Now he'll take off, and he slides down the short of the marker. And wanted a late hit. Jeremy Shin on the tackle. But it wasn't a late hit because of a late slide. And it wasn't malicious in the hit. But it'd be interesting to see if he can actually take a snap under center with all that padding with the glove, or will they have to go easy up to avoid any type of issues? You see that? Because the padding is on the front side and the back side of his hand. It's in the palm and it's on the top of the field. He has a big pad there. Can he take the football and receive it without a big problem? 3rd and 1 by Dell. They're taking a face mask, but he picks up the first down, and now the flag is
Jackson Dart season.
So once again, the Chargers convert on 3rd down.
Last play of the season. All day.
It was Jalen Ramsey bringing up along with that coach who had the pick on the opening drive. It's great coverage and it's a great understanding by Pittsburgh. Big mascot Devin White. He's got the heck of a season. This is like a comeback year for Devin White with both starters. They're doing it breakfast. Wisnowski, you were amazed. It was his first touchback the last time. Yes, he signed September 30th, replacing Austin Hunter Cameron Johnson, a former Steeler himself, as Austin races out of bounds. And the Steelers, his fingers hitting the kind of planted there. Fingers are taped in the middle to hold them together. Here's Patterson. And he gets out to midfield. We were talking about this during the commercial break, but Herbert is a tough guy. He's played 97% of the Chargers snaps beginning of last year. That would be something very serious to keep him out of the game, which it is right now. They're two of the most underrated tough guy quarterbacks that we don't talk about. Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford. We saw Stafford play through stuff in Detroit. He could barely practice all the week and answer the bell on Sunday. You notice Herbert's not running out there. It's almost like Jim Harbaugh said, let's keep the rhythm of this drive, and we'll figure it out in between. It is Lance keeping it, trying to get to the outside. It's just out of bounds. And now Herbert is coming back in. With information here at SoFi.
Yeah.
One of the things is jumping in so fast, keeping it together so it's not flopping around on you. Comes in, 3rd down, guys. He makes a play. 32. And this one will stop a false start against LA. Got an update on the Seahawks and Vikings game. The bugaboo for Seattle has been turnovers this year, and they just had another. Darnold stripped of the football and the quarterback sack. Dallas Turner lands on it. Seattle has 21 turnovers on the year. That's tied for the most in the NFL. Tied with the Minnesota Vikings, the team they're playing. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down and 10.
Update from Pittsburgh on a 2nd and 10. Single setback and Jalen Ward. They hand it to him. He goes left side for the crooked line. Picks it up. 12-yard run and a fresh set it down to Pittsburgh in Buffalo territory.
I'm going to get up in the line and look to the standard. I go down to all the field trying to touch that guy. It is not an easy task.
Looking on the play. In the low red zone as the field shrinks. The Bulls are getting them up to create space for the run game. What is going to go away? And winning against Las Vegas.
Something like that after the list. I could play unfortunately defense number
just don't need. I mean, the 2-9 and struggling in every phase. Don't give them something that's on the way. Maybe like the tough guy as it is. That's not the proven. Make the play, get back to the home. Herbert in his shotgun. Play action. Herbert throwing. He's going to wide open.
Oh my God.
Just a young quarterback that's just not used to these situations, and Trevor Penning is in the game for Los Angeles. Vidal trying to get to the outside and not just by the land of Roberts. Now it's 3rd and goal. It's 7 years. That's his first big 6. And it's the running towards it.
That's what you do in the practice. It's basically bumping your chin straps up. It's a run play. We all know it. Run downhill. And thinking to the right field. Down here in this part, I can believe he is flying downhill every single play and looking for contact. He landed Roberts, laid it into the ankle.
And it's somehow called by Jim Harbaugh. Running on the field both ways. He's good in other areas, but they're trying to figure that out. That's what he knows. It's a lot of passes. This is the guy right here that we're going to start to go at the end of the year. Darnell Washington, 6'7.5". Riders. Back to the ball. Receiver and Bowers are complete. As Taron Johnson was on the coverage of Boston. And they're forced to punt. Interesting is that Justin Herbert's ability to run, how much will they tell him we don't want you doing that now with his hand? This would actually be an ideal spot for Trey Lance and his running ability, but you're not really changing quarterbacks like you put in the college game. So they got to figure out. Greg Roman's working through that now. What do I call here to minimize getting contact for my superstar quarterback?
Good luck for Gadsden up top. Big weapon down there in the red zone.
Looking left, throwing left, and it of Puka Nacua, one of the catch of the year candidates for the LA Rams, working against defensive back Mike Jackson. And you watch a slow-mo here. Mike Jackson gets his hand on the football. So does Puka. Puka's a smooth criminal and pulls it away from Mike Jackson. And no studded glove, one-handed reference. We were thinking about all of it right there. Puka getting the first down. Spectacular catch right there. But the Rams fall in Carolina 31-28. Los Angeles drops to 9-3. Tied for the best record in the NFC now. But the Bears, by virtue of a tiebreaker, fall into the top spot in the conference as we start to wrap up Week 13 and Sunday's action. Great job by the Panthers. Great job by Luka. On the good hands, All-State of the day.
Who's the trendsetter? I think his ability to not only implement a scheme, but then the combination of him and John Schneider with there was a false start. Yes, we see now 3 times. Remember, we said that in the first quarter. They're snapping the ball so fast. Sorry. Offense number 78. Finley. So fast that people think they're not letting everybody get set. Roseburg and the operation of the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could just be operationally. That's something that this Minnesota Vikings defense has really struggled with. Operation in and out of the Mason able to stop the run and lost it. About the Vikings quarterback issues this year, but like, all right, give it to Josh Allen. Just wait till later in the game. They won at 11 turnovers for 68 yards, so very effective. Took 8 for 43. Second and 9. Put it off the cut. Looks around and gets past Queen. He has a first down here at the 35-yard line. Very smart by Buffalo to come out running the football. As the game continues, when they snap the ball, Justin Herbert double clutched it. Wasn't sure. Believe he had it to the outside. Did a good job from Blue Kelly. It's like banjo coverage. You take who comes into your area. Let's go take this one out of your zone. There's been 9 offensive play of the game for Las Vegas. Smith in the end zone, taking a shot down the sideline, and it is incomplete. The over was Tony Jefferson. I think he was at the ground. He didn't catch it, and the officials are discussing it. Jefferson thinks it's an INT. And they are giving it to him. It was intended for Dante Thornton. Jefferson, the last man in. And he draws miles. And Vegas wants to take a look. Turnover subject to review. I think he's got it.
The college he played with, Allen Palmer, the greatest throwers of all time.
Here's a hand, I think it's the truck. Kids, if you're a young quarterback coming up, people don't believe in you. Both of these quarterbacks were not offered a Let's look at the replay one more time of the interception. If any of the players touched the ball while they were out of bounds, including the Las Vegas receiver, then that play is dead and out of bounds. Rolling on the field was an interception on what would be a spectacular deflection INT pass. But they will look at whatever angles besides that one that they have. We'll let you know in 2 minutes when they come back out. TV timeout, first down. That's Ty Johnson. I did get that partial. 15-20% of scholarships. Depending on their leagues. So far, by the way, this story resonates with me. But the difference with Josh Allen is what? He's got a jersey retired now. Wow. I mean, this took place last weekend after they played on a Thursday night. November 22nd. It's one of the coolest moments in my life and my parents' lives. Does it again, number 2 in the National Football League at creating turnovers and getting takeaways. And we have a second one. Doing things well. This is why they practice part of their system forever, and this is just James Cook. Yeah, his knee. His knee, not the ball out of his hand. Wow, look at this. Then he thought he had recovered it. And scoots free and Queen lands on the football. What a huge play right there. That was big. This is the runners and get through the pass. That's the line of scrimmage. And it's the only way right now that they have a chance to get the lead. With the 2 turnovers. From the 39. I think there's anything clear and obvious to say he touches it, and then we see Jackson there. That's an interception. You see the knees on the ground with possession. They're staying with interception on that play, fellas. Heck of a play. Heck of a play, Gene. And thank you so much, Michael, up the middle. That is the 14th interception of the year for Geno Smith. Tied for the most in the NFL with 2 attempted by Lowell, who had one earlier today. Let's put a cap on this whole thing. Jason, that was a drill that we work on in practice almost every day to keep the right running behind and first down. And a blue play. Going to go to Smith, who wasn't there. The chest. Keenan Allen. It was Eric Stokes who had the coverage for Las Vegas.
This Raiders defense throughout the course of this season, I think they feel as though they played better than maybe the record has indicated in some of their numbers. They've been put in some rough situations with turnovers from the offensive side, and we call that sudden change for a defense there. Blue Kelly just comes away with an incredible interception, and it's fun.
You can get separated right for his hand coverage. He is emerging. Everybody in the facility will tell you that. Drop that time, though. 2nd and 10. Bingo. What a catch that was. Off the 2 strings. And away he goes.
Ball is right down to the first offensive big footing.
I'm so glad to copy it all. This change so far. I've already got the end of the 15. Goes back to catch. Herbert on 3rd down over the middle. Keenan Allen. He's going to be. Wow. That was the next level. This is why we talk about him being the number 2 receiver. He's a running back. But really, we're running switch to. The Metcalf is covered, and LA will line up to go for it.
Normally, this is sneak territory, but you can't go under center with it through the river.
Now they go to 1. In the middle, down to the 2. Tries to swerve for another yard. I think you got Herbert under center. He'd do it right now with his finger, and it's costly for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. Rodgers does that little arm angle, but it's an extension of the running game. And then we'll find the fighting on the outside for no reason. Yeah, Metcalf and Binford going to the ground. No flag. So arm angles that Josh was talking about with Aaron, that was a big call. That's basically getting a 6, 7, 8 yard run game. 2nd and goal from the 2. A lot of big people in down here. One up top again. Look out. Incomplete. After a game of 7, 19 seconds getting into the edges. A field goal aim for Jason Myers. 55-yarder from here. Within Myers' range. So, Jackson Smith and Jigba is Last year, he leads the league in yards from the slot, interior player, and now this year he's on the
Saints and
start.
Panthers trying to upset.
His damage as a perimeter player. Like he's left his face on him, though. You can get hit with someone coming free. It's a running play, not blocking in the pass. 3rd and goal. There they go into the end zone with 1 and a Pittsburgh touchdown.
So Buffalo, Baltimore,
We talked about trying to go big in this game.
Houston,
So late flag just hit the ground at the 4-yard line. Well, Pittsburgh went huge there. They went in motion with an offensive lineman. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Pittsburgh number 4. His 15-yard penalty. That probably carried over from the previous play that we showed you with Metcalf and Denver. The 2 guys sitting in Pittsburgh. We could go on and on about the job he's done. 2 years here in Seattle, the job he did previously in Baltimore. You have the game, you're at home, a struggling Minnesota offense. The force is that you're going to now go into halftime with 2 remaining timeouts, and you're settling for a 54-yard 56-yard field. Second make of this first half, 185th in his time with the Seahawks today. By virtue of the Rams lost at Carolina, the Bears are the current number 1 seed in the NFC. Watching that tape, and by the way, and also with their win over the Eagles, they can penalty on the kickoff. Takes the pitch, pressure coming, Tino goes, leads it to Tucker, led by Elijah Bolden. Tino Smith slowly jogs backwards, make a run. Boswell. Perfect 29 of 29. And the 11-year reliable kicker out of Rice. Trying to reach split field position. Get us out from being under siege. Because right now, they are overachieving on the defensive side. They can use a little bit of a break here. Time of possession, 18 minutes for LA to 5 minutes for Las Vegas. Here's Chetty. And Chetty with some nifty moves. And that extra effort gets him a couple 4 yards, a 5-yard gain for top of the division, top of the NFC today with the Rams losing the road. Miles Price across 33 seconds. And it has to give a line of scrimmage. What looked like it was going to be a huge play turned into a 3rd down attempt by the Raiders. As we enter the defensive coordinator, there's Greg Olsen calling the plays for the Raiders today. 3rd down and 2. Just his best catch of the year. Now, Listeners' offense numbers begin with a good deal moment. Brought to you by Walmart. It has to come from the defense. It's 3 about right across the middle. And funnel sales get that separation with softer coverage and pick up with nothing else. It just did that Las Vegas defense a couple of extra minutes. Just Chetty with another move. And then pushed it out right near the marker by Tony Jefferson. This is why you stay with running the football. You can't be discouraged by some 1 yard or negative runs. You gotta stay with it. And watch it look at the full here. You end up getting capped with the center out in front. But what a nifty move in the backfield by Cincy. And then you run through a little more traffic as well. For a nice pickup. Sets him up in second. Very short. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Sneaking through to the 44-yard line. Let's go back to the open. Doors open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. So be the first to snack clothes or busted goods. And your
choice offers before they're gone. Get more holiday for less.
Thank you. We talked about the offensive lines here in this game with the Bills without both of their starting tackles today in Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown. Back to Jesse. Which puts Gaswell and the ball on the tee back at the 20.
Yeah, confused by this, Jim. Yeah, that's sportsmanlike conduct after a touchdown. There is no option to carry that responsibility to pick up. They needed to enforce that foul on the PAT. Somehow that one got away.
This offensive line that's had its share of struggles throughout the year. 40 yards on this drive. Vegas had 17 total on their first 3 drives. Gino to the outside, complete, but a flag is down. Intended for Trey Tucker.
And they're holding on a line of Bolton. Covering Tucker in the spot right there.
That's interference. Defense number 2. Defensive play action. Right. Cook. Look at that. He takes off. Nice block by Cook.
Oh, wow.
He made his speed cut out away from him. And when this drive started, all we wanted to see out of Vegas and all they wanted, a couple first downs, get some rest for defense. Now that they're in the high red zone, they got to think bigger. For a team only averaging about 15 points a game, you've got to find a way to get to the end zone. Gino looking to take that shot. Powers is down there. Jason McCoy is first one, but they turned it over twice instead. Cook adding 3 more. It's on out the train.
Powers lined up in that tight end position. He's not as wide as possible. And he's been able to make them pay down the field on opportunities. This is a good catch. TV's hand is right in the pocket of Sam Hart right there, and Brock Bowers is still able to come away with the catch. That's a wide receiver yard.
And again, that tight end body right there. Gino Smith 3 for 3 on this drive for 43 yards. We did the 2-minute rushing offense. It's a stretch off the south. Henry gets foul driven back by Tucker after a 4-yard gain.
Well, they didn't help Chip on Downs' left side, and that's why you see Highsmith. They don't Chip of one healthy. He's going to bring you. Look at this. That's around with the left side, playing right. Most of the time, Josh takes a little hit at the end, but good job getting yards. Banged up in the game against his shoulder. Moving his shoulder. Here he goes. Also, he got first down. 3 got 4. When they're reading, when they feel comfortable, look at this. When it gets chipping, they got Cam Hayward at 15 years back. Having a little word with the guy that he has to know well. All the many things that they both have done with their careers. Don't make him mad. There are certain guys. He's trying to be, hey, good job, right? Josh using the legs on a third down play like you expect in big situations, but you don't make Hayward upset. Ooh, going right at Josh Allen. Just telling you, he throws his will, and he gets upset. 1st and 10, toss, Cook. They run to Hayward's side, and they pick up 2.
Flashing back in the early window here in between plays, let's look at Bucky Irving for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And welcome back, Bucky Irving. He missed 7 games with a shoulder and an ankle injury. Back in the lineup, Bucky Irving, 61 rushing yards, 20 receiving yards, a 8-1 scrimmage, and that touchdown in the Bucks win over the Cardinals.
He's going to do it for next week. He's going to club that guy and throw him and jump right back in. You also don't want to make Josh Allen. That is true.
2nd and 8.
position to bring it in Duggar and almost gets an interception. Hayward's over there on the throw. Intercepted. Ball is coming out fast, right? Run the ball coming fast. So the kids really start to get a little closer to the line. You don't see that back very much. Now it's 37 yards. He had great guard today. He was elevated on the practice squad yesterday and gets the start. That's Johnson fighting for it, near it. Let's see the spot. It's right on the line. Could be enough for the first, it appears. Yep, they move the chains. This is simply Jordan Porter Jr. giving up too much space. You know, I'm saying it different. There's a lot of superchargers in the area on that one. Not a lot of white shirts out there escorting him. Once he get out of the backfield and look for help, there was not a drop back. It's not a quick throw that you get back. Dave Davis to the near side. Big game Dave. Big game Dave. We've got a lot of his touchdowns through the year. He's had some big ones. Davis also in the receiver spot. Hand off to Cook. But that traffic. But Porter. Ooh, with a solid tackle. They got away from him. Look out. By himself. I want to get the wings of that traffic into the wall. Los Angeles now out of timeouts. It's second and goal. Touchdown. Second and 3. He's in trouble. Able to get away from Watt. Struck off the leather again. What a collision. And two players come to the defense. So there's also that Queens and that Nixon. I mean, this. I thought the probably should have been a penalty. Clearly slides, and right here you got to lift up a little bit. That's a Queen. Hey, I've got communication playing the play on. His fourth touchdown of the season. And Geno Smith pumps his fist. A great drive by Las Vegas. So they found a way to clear space. It wasn't just getting it by himself, and it started the motion from one receiver all the way out. Watch. So right here, we're in motion to get him out of the way from Bowers. And then that left Bowers, well, the motion had already happened to the top side. And then Bowers just went down here with 2 seconds. The left side now in. For the second time on his left, so this drive goes well designed, well called, Greg Olsen. Extra point by Daniel Carlson is good. Bowers down to 3 deputies to the right. Allen and Hayward are still exchanging pleasantries. So you can see how important this game is to both franchises. Right, with the injured player, we're going to step aside. 2:20 to go in the second quarter.
It's time for good coverage, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Let's go back to that Carolina and Los Angeles Rams game. We showed you the Puka Nacua catch where Mike Jackson, the defensive back, gave up that pass. Well, Mike Jackson takes it back the other way. A pick 6. Matthew Stafford was looking for Puka, but he should have been looking at the man in the mirror because Mike Jackson was there, and he's going to make a change on the scoreboard. It's going to feel real good for Carolina, and it did. As the Panthers take it 31-28. Carolina improves to 7-6 on the year. Rams drop to 9-3. Afterwards, NFL media's Sarah Walsh caught up with this on-field interview with Derek Brown.
Matthew Stafford came in here on such a roll. He had only thrown 2 picks all season. You guys picked them twice in the first quarter.
Ew.
Talk to me about the defensive effort this team put on today.
We had a lot of missing pieces. We lost a lot of guys for sure. Being able to come out here and just be able to, it was about being resilient this week. You know, Coach said, give us a chance, so let's roll with it.
You might have had the play of the game there at the end. They were definitely in field goal range. The strip sack, talk us through what happened there to really end their chances.
There's a lot of moving pieces. Turk got high, pushed him up in the pocket, wrapped around, DJ came and picked him, and I just so happened to be the guy that came free. So definitely thank you to all my teammates for that one.
This is a Panthers team very much in the hunt right now for that division title. What does that mean to you guys, given all you've been through?
Keep going, baby. It's resilience. That's all it is. We come here every single day, no matter what it is. When we were 1-3, it didn't matter what it was. We came here with the same attitude. You know, just thank God for the steps we had.
Congratulations. What a game.
Thank you so much.
That Carolina Panthers team, they're a little hot and cold, but they're putting it together at some points and some stretches. No win this season for them, bigger than beating the former #1 seed in the NFC, Los Angeles Rams today. The Los Angeles Chargers are in a 7-7 tie game with Brock Bowers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Minute 50 seconds remaining in the first half.
With every single touchdown they scored by a player 24 or younger in 1934 Chicago Cardinals. Here's Darius Davis on the 30, out of bounds at the 35-yard line with 1:42 to go. A return of 31 yards as we go back to the touchdown. Malik Harrison was out of pocket. He ran a short route underneath. They motioned Trey Tucker out farther to the sideline to pull defenders with it. Together their first big drive of the game, down 7. You're watching the NFL. Well done, Greg Olsen. Take over as play caller and some extra juice. And I think that the Chargers squandered the juice of Herbert coming back into the game with the interception down the goal line. Herbert's out there in trouble. He's sacked. And it's Max Crosby with his 7th sack of the year, a loss of 6 on the play. About the Chargers, I think I might want to just get out of here for the half, guys. Do I get my quarterback hit anymore? Go back in and regroup? Because Matt Crosby, what did he tell us? We got to get takeaways, guys. He's coming for the football. And now some movement up front by the Chargers offensive line.
Waiting to flag at SoFi. Alex Moore with the call. Okay, so they called timeout, I guess, before the flag. But you can see we are in the second half action with the home team in Seattle up 13-0. Minnesota, tough hole to begin with, especially in front of this loud crowd. And the Seahawks get the first possession of the third quarter.
2 yards total. And this is for an organization known for its offense, known for what Kevin O'Connell does with a high-flying group. It is just unrecognizable. Seahawks, 30 points per game. That's good for 3rd in the NFL. They managed just 2 field goals in the first half.
Damn. 4,000.
Kind of quiet second quarter.
That's receptions. Yards.
Here you go, tucked up the right side. It's good block. Harrison Smith saves a touchdown.
What happened here? 4,000 yards.
Herbert remains in the shotgun.
Is that a glitch? Yeah, that's a glitch. That is really strange. And 39 touchdowns.
He doesn't pull it down by his wrist. That's a touchdown.
53 for.
At least 20 yards. That's top 5 in the NFL. Walker again from his 44.
Stafford only has 24. Something funky is happening there.
To keep the clock running, try to take it down as much as possible.
Herbert started 7 out of 7. Since then, with the injury, he's got 1 for 4. Throwing on 3rd down, and he's got a completion short of a first down. That's Lad McConkey's first catch today. And it's 4th down and a long one.
Go to a quick triple box here. Second half action underway from Seattle. End of the first half coming outside. Ingles now trying to get in Pittsburgh. 2 of the 3 games where the road team still has not been scored a point.
Right here, it's an outside the 10th block, and it hits the one-handed catch, but there's no room for people on Rodgers for
The Burger King double cheeseburger.
Continuing to match this Seattle offense. They've been historically explosive. The passing game, out of those big personnel groupings, almost exclusively 9 out of the 10 snaps in the first half that Seattle came out with multiple tight ends on the field. Victoria State base. They gave up one explosive play. That was the first one on the run play. Here to start the second half. A little bit of a different approach than what we've seen the last couple weeks.
it's a free play for Dow. Looks to take advantage of Smith and Jim, but it's out of bounds and incomplete. They'll have a more manageable third down here, but Jonathan Allen was so
In this first half, Bills have a 2nd and 5. To be their first red zone snap today. That's an open edge here. No one's helping those.
Oh my God, something weird's happening there.
Again, it's Cook cutting outside and corners are waiting for, but this time he got a first down